The event was amazing. It's definitely probably the most, I'd say the most prestigious event I've been to besides Evo. I'm not really used to kind of like having celebrities and everything running around, literally doing whatever they want. So that was an interesting experience. Had a lot of fun, got to play a lot of games, got to learn a lot. I think that was probably the biggest benefit for me was this event taught me a lot about my play and how that play is effective long-term and short-term. It made me realize the amount of mental stamina that was required for an event like this. Overall though, I think that was probably the biggest takeaway from it. Was that I was able to learn a lot about myself as a player and what I need going forward for things like this. Because I know this won't be the last one, and I would hope it's not the last one I'm going to. So like, this is definitely, I think it was definitely good for me, and it was ran very well. I had a lot of fun, which is of course the big thing. But overall, I had a great time. Definitely wouldn't trade it for anything. My favorite part was probably beating Cho or Superboy, one of the Japan players, to make it out of my pool for one of the last year's qualifiers. It was for a while I had a couple of doubts in my play as far as being able to compete or still compete with my team, how I played the game, how I was just going forward. But beating him kind of reconfirmed for me that I can still do this and that there's a lot left for me to still go forward. I think this is probably this is the third time I've beaten a Japanese player, and for me, it's a big thing to make because those are the prestigious players, the ones that travel overseas, the ones that always have the big prestige attached to them, and to know that I am good enough at what I do to compete with some of those players makes me feel like I can still do this. That what I'm doing is strong. What I'm doing is a good way to be playing this game. And for me, it's very reassuring. It was very confidence boosting, and it was very good. It was a very good feeling. You can't take that away, knowing that you beat one of the best. So it was definitely my favorite part. I think this year was my biggest year. It's not necessarily the beginning for me as a competitor, but as far as growth and progression, I feel like this year was one of the biggest. This year I've had 2 top 8s. Well, more than 2, but I think this is the year where I became a notable or top player, one that's kind of known around the United States or even the world. A lot of people, when they hear my name now, they recognize who I am. My play has improved, and in general, I feel that I've become more of a threat as a competitor in multiple games, just due to the sheer success I've had. I feel that I've learned a lot. I've gotten out of bad habits that I used to have in my play. I think in 2018, I had a lot of issues going forward with, say, confidence and being capable in what I do. I had a lot of self-doubt in 2018, mainly with how I felt about how I played. A lot of times I needed reassurance that what I was doing was good or right. But I think in 2019, I'm kind of just willing to go forward with whatever. As long as I'm confident in myself and what I'm doing, I feel that what I'm doing is right. And it showed. It showed in the way I play. It showed in my results, and I feel that in general, it's a better thing for me to know for myself that I can continue to go forward and be successful in what I'm doing. I think in general, that's great for me. I think it's really what I needed. This year in general, so far, even as it was just 27 days, it's definitely been more fruitful for me. I think I've had a different mindset going into 2019, and I think it's one that's gonna be fruitful for sure. Louisiana, I think in general has, especially in terms of the FGC, has kind of raised me. I think they met me around when I was 18, and ever since then they've all been kind of training me up. I've learned from literally everybody, from the anime players to the Street Fighter players to the Marvel players. Everyone's taught me a little bit of something in terms of fighting games, and I think that in general, all of them have made me a stronger player, no matter what game I played. And transitioning from them to esports now, I feel like they've given me all the tools necessary to be good at what I'm doing. They've given me, insight, knowledge, habits I should and shouldn't break, things that I should and shouldn't do, in and out of the game. In general, they've all been, mentors or big brothers and little sisters to me. Big brothers and big sisters to me. They've all taught me so much, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's definitely, I feel it's been more of a mentorship thing because I was so young then, and just being able to grow up for 4 years or 3 years around them, it's a real surreal feeling, getting to know from where I was then to where I am now. It's a real big step. I know they're all proud of me, and I want to keep making them proud. So for now, I think I'm just gonna keep moving one step at a time, even if those steps are kind of slow. I definitely feel that they're all proud of me and that I'm making the right steps and that I'm going forward smartly and correctly. I definitely put my all into the first last chance qualifier, and I think that's where I made it the farthest. The first last chance qualifier, I think everybody was kind of just like, I want to win this one now so that I don't have to play anymore, and I definitely think that's where I performed the strongest. I don't think I played badly throughout the tournament, but I definitely felt that my play deteriorated from the first last chance qualifier compared to the other three. And I can say the same for a lot of other people that were playing. Not everyone was on their A game after the first last chance qualifier. Even the top players, the ones who were winning the whole time, you could definitely tell there was a slight decline. Everybody got a bit mentally exhausted after the first one. Some even physically exhausted. It was definitely a different tournament, not one that I'm really used to. It's definitely something you have to be mentally and physically prepared for, because if you're not, I think you can kind of you'll lose yourself. It's a tournament of endurance, and if you're not ready for it, then you're kind of just gonna fall to the wayside, and nobody wants that. So being prepared inside and outside of the game is especially important here, because it's a long day. There's a lot of games played, and everybody wants a spot, no matter who you are. And nobody came with the intention of losing or just learning. Everybody wanted to win. Everybody that came here was serious and wanted to be one of those 4 last chance qualifier participants. And it showed. Everybody was ready. And overall, I think we all had a good tournament. And while I can't say it's my favorite format, I definitely think it was a lot of fun. And I would be interested in doing something like that again. But overall, it was a great learning experience, and it taught me a lot of things. And in general, it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. All right, cool.